Hi, have you heard of whippets? I know I have because my family friend at my mother's birthday dinner kept on talking about them and then went outside to, I presumably, exchange them because then he came back and said, business is business, guys. Yay! Whippets are everywhere right now. They're probably huge. I guess they're the next vape or the next weed if you're a teenager. And they're everywhere. Kanye West's been using them. He's been addicted to them, as so I've been told. And as so the pictures describe, he's absolutely hammered on whippets. In case you don't know what whippets are, whippets or nitrous oxide or laughing gas is typically the gas that dentists give you before they go and do surgery in your mouth as a sort of amnesia, and you come back from them kind of high. Nitrous oxide is also used, I think, to repair your car and in other circumstances, but nowadays people are using nitrous oxide as some sort of drug, which is lovely and great. Now, in all fairness, nitrous oxide has been around for use like forever. I think since the 60s. I know people over there across the pond in the UK, all you filthy little Brits, all of them, they've been using nitrous oxides during raves. They had it like in little balloons and then they start going to get their little fill in. But right now it's come over to the US in these form of like nitrous oxide whipped cream flavoring bottles, and like certain people have now been using them as a recreational drug. Now, before I get any further into this video, I need to tell you, guys, do not use nitrous oxide for recreational drug use. Nitrous oxide has intensely serious side effects. Like, you can paralyze your brain from nitrous oxide. Like, you've seen all those videos where people take it and then they fall over, like on the floor. Yeah? Do you want to know why they do that? Because sometimes there's a very small chance that when you use nitrous oxide, your brain could get a seizure. So, be careful. If you're using nitrous oxide, make sure it's only before a dentist operation. Okay, that's the only time that nitrous oxide should be in your little system. But as nitrous oxide is getting hugely popular, it led me wondering to a really big question that's been on my mind. Why is literally everybody in this generation or during this time absolutely okay with being addicted to something? Listen, look at me, buddy, straight in my eyes, and tell me what you're addicted to, because you're addicted to something. I know I'm addicted to something. I'm addicted to YouTube. I'm sitting right here uploading a video, being a content creator, because do you want to know how many hours I spend on YouTube a day? Over 10. I've easily probably racked over 10,000 hours into YouTube. Easily. I can name you 1,000 channels off the top of my head. I love YouTube that much. I'm that addicted to YouTube. And with the rise of whippets, there's also been other addictive substances coming to the rise, like Zyn. If you don't know what Zyn is, it's basically like a tobacco patch that you put in your little gum right here, and it works as though like it's a tobacco. It's supposed to calm you down because it's a nicotine patch. If you know anything about drugs, and especially nicotine, you know that any form of nicotine is insanely bad for you because nicotine is a highly addictive material. You know what else is highly addictive? This channel. You see that paper over there? If you're like a super smart, talented genius, it says subscribe over there. If you see the word subscribe, it means that you're a super duper talented genius. And here on the That Pink Lady channel, we only want geniuses of the highest IQ and the highest caliber. So if you fit that bill, you see that button over there? Well, that piece of paper, you should hit up to it. Zyn is nicotine. It's literal nicotine in your mouth. We have a way to put addictive substances in your mouth, like all through it. And the upsides of Zyn apparently is that apparently doesn't have any of the metals that cigarettes or vapes have. I don't know. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I'm a pretty big straight edge. And Zyn is insanely new. It's a pretty new nicotine product on the market. And like, you don't know the side effects of Zyn. You don't know the side effects. Well, we know the side effects of nitrous oxide because we see it on Kanye, but we don't know the full side effects of Zyn because it hasn't been out long yet. And tobacco companies will tell you that it's okay to take our products. It's okay to take Zyn. It's perfectly safe. It's actually better for you than vapes, and it's better for you than cigarettes because, it doesn't have any of the bad sides of cigarettes or vapes. And let me tell you this, when vapes first came out, they were marketed as an alternative to smoking. They were marketed as smoking, but healthier because, smoking's bad for you, but vaping is good for you. It's going to help you wean off of smoking. And you know, what do we know now? Vapes are really bad for you. Like, they suck for you. Please don't vape. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. And now Zin's out, and Zin's probably going to advertise itself as the better alternative to vaping and the better alternative to smoking. And who knows, in 5 years, we're going to find out when all of our gums fall off how bad Zins are for us. But it's not just Zin, and it's not just whippets. It's the entire state of society in general. How many of you are addicted to short form content? I know at least one of you watching this video probably is. How many hours did you spend on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts? If you watch YouTube Shorts, please get help. Or TikTok. Literally how many hours? Because I can assure you that it's a pretty big amount. Bed rotting has become like a whole new trend where all you do is sit in your little bed, dirty, stinky, musty, and scrolling through, you know, short form content all day. Because we're addicted to it. That's it. We're addicted to it. How many of you, have heard of the word gooning or edging or jelking? Because all of those terms have become normalized. It's become completely normalized to be addicted to nicotine or to be addicted to porn. It's super normal. Nay, in fact, it's encouraged. How many of you have seen somebody kind of cute on Instagram and then you find out that they're an OnlyFans model? There's nothing wrong with being an OnlyFans model, but how much of that is normalized? To just subscribe to some random OnlyFans. How much of it is normalized to say that I've just finished out a goon sesh? I mean, like, I get it that these are memes and that these are supposed to be less funny memes, but like, also, this inflects a kind of more serious and daunting aspect of society that we're so addicted to short form hits of dopamine that we don't realize that this is going to negatively affect us in the future. Short form content with Subway Surfers taking up one half of the screen, Family Guy funnies at the top, and somebody cutting up soap to a Reddit AMA at the bottom. Short form hits of dopamine like watching, I don't know, any adult form content. Short form hits of dopamine like being addicted to nicotine. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. Companies and people want us to be addicted to something because if we get addicted to short form hits of dopamine, it ends up becoming a lot more better for the people up top, The people up top, them companies, they want you to be addicted to their product. You know how Twitter and TikTok are purposefully designed to rage bait you in? Do you know why Slop does so well on YouTube? Because it's easy to make and you pump out content significantly faster. And it's Slap. People can just consume it and turn their brains off, and then they click on to the next one, and it's the next slop, and the next slop, and the next slop. You know why nicotine is so successful right now? You know why everyone is vaping, or everyone is doing whippets, or why everybody is doing Zins? Because they're easy to get and they're addictive. They're short form hits of dopamine. And in a society where people think that everything is going wrong, short form hits of dopamine are their only way of coping. Or that's what companies want you to think is the only way of coping. Come on, guys. Let's hit another Zin together, guys. Listen, I know that I'm also gonna sound old here. I'm very much a big straight edge. I'm very much against the use of a lot of illicit substances. But I think that it's also really important to acknowledge that these things affect us heavily. Like short form hits of dopamine literally controls us and literally rules us. You know how many more people are probably going to come out with an ADHD diagnosis? Do you know how many people are just going to have shorter attention spans? You can probably look to Gen Alpha as an example. How many of you were actually even raised as iPad kids if you're on the younger edge? When's the first time that you got your first phone if you're Generation Alpha watching this? Like, how many Gen Alpha kids are so consumed by Skibbity Toilet? Right? Like, it's the short form content that's persistent and staying from birth. And this short form content is going to lead to stuff like lower impulse control. It's going to lead people to be more susceptible to things like Zin and Nitrous Oxide, which we're seeing literally right now. Like, look at Kanye West, bro. That guy's dying. That guy's not going to be around in like 3 years from all that nitrous he's taking. And it's sad, not only sad, but a bit Orwellian that we live in a place like this, where addiction is normalized, not only to a point where it's normal to be addicted to something, but people encourage you to be addicted to something. People want you to look through short form content because people encourage you to have social media. I've gone without social media for around like 3 years, ever since I entered high school, and now that I'm going into my senior year, I decided to download social media again because it's literally impossible to go to a high school and live without social media. I'm not joking. If you want to make friends and you want to, communicate with people in high school, most people will not communicate with you unless it's through TikTok or Instagram. Trust me, I know because I've done this for 3 years. People will not communicate with you through regular text messages. People will not communicate with you through WhatsApp. They will only talk to you if it is through TikTok or through Instagram. And I'm not downloading TikTok, so I downloaded Instagram. And you know what people do? They watch reels for hours and hours and hours on end, and they just send it to people. I was on a school trip to Europe. Yes, I know that sounds incredibly privileged, and it is. And I was on a school trip to Europe, and on the last day, in a random hotel room in Germany, instead of doing something like playing cards, I literally had cards on me. You know what we did? You know what we did? We went onto our phones and we looked through Instagram Reels. I kid you not, for 3 to 4 hours, bro. We're addicted. We're all addicted to something. And I'm not saying this as a you suck and I'm better than you type of way. I'm addicted to it too. I downloaded Instagram sometime in June. I probably spent an hour on it already, a day, just looking through Reels. Just looking through Reels. Short form content hits to you, and it hits to you hard. Whippets hit to you, and they hit to you hard. Zins come to you, and they come to you hard. All of this stuff that's being normalized, it comes to you because you can't escape it. It's hard to not be addicted to something in 2024. And I don't really know what the message of this video is. I know people now call me a video essayist, and to be a video essayist means to write informed videos and have like a productive discussion. I'm not being productive here. I don't have articles to quote my facts here, okay? I'm ranting because I'm mad, and I'm mad at the state of society, and I'm mad that this is so normalized.